Good morning and almost afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you along for day 3 of the 2025 Mountain East Conference Softball Championship Tournament. It is elimination time once again between Charleston, the two-time defending champions, and the number 2 seed in the South against the number 1 seed from the South, Glenville State. And both of these teams, they've unfortunately had to try and do it the hard way. Dropping a game earlier in the tournament and then having to come back up through the bottom part of the graphic to try and the bracket, trying to find their way back to the championship game on Saturday. And again, with UC being the two-time defending champions, last year making a run all the way into the Division II World Series. They dropped 2 games, but they still got there. I mean, that's always an incredible accomplishment when a team can make it that far. For Glenville State on the other side, they're only finding really recent success here in the Mountain East Conference. They are charter members joining in 2013, so softball's first season in the conference was 2014. They got in that year as a number 9 seed, went 1-2 that year, did not get back to the conference tournament until 23 as the 4th seed in the South, went 1-2 again, then got back last year as the number 2 seed in the South, 1-2 in the tournament again. Now this year they are the number 1 seed in the South, but again, elimination. They've got their backs up against the wall. And both these teams, they've got just absolutely incredible rosters that can light up a scoreboard. For Glenville State, this is a team that has scored 311 runs this year, while only allowing 159. They've got 440 hits. They're batting .321 as a team. Over on the other side, UC, 260 runs scored to giving up only 136. They have 398 hits. They're batting .304 as a team. So again, these are lineups that can absolutely produce hits and runs. But both of these teams also have some great pitchers in the circles with ERAs under 2. Kylie Burdick for Glenville State at a 1.78 and Addison Mass for UC at 1.95. Both of them have won over 20 games this year. And Addison Mass, the 2025 Conference Pitcher of the Year. Just looking at the games that they played yesterday, for Glenville State, they came through with a 4-2 win over Point Park, and that had to be a comeback victory. The Point Park Pioneers scored 2 runs in the first, and then they were shutting down Glenville State over the next few innings. The Glenville State might get a runner on base here and there, but Point Park was able to get out of it. Finally, Glenville State on the back of back-to-back triples in the 5th, scored 2 runs. Then they put up 2 more runs in the bottom of the 6th to take a 2-run lead, then protected everything in the top of the 7th to be able to come away with the victory. For UC, they ended up having to play 2 games yesterday. Glenville State came from the winner's bracket, lost to West Liberty, and then had to defeat Point Park. For UC, they started off with a win over Fairmont State, the loss to Fairmont State. That one was 5-1. UC only got just 1 run in the 3rd. That came off of an RBI double from Taylor Hodson that scored Reagan West. And then backs up against the wall. They've got to play Davis and Elkins. And the Senators got out to an early 4-0 lead through just 2 innings. UC made a pitching change, went from Chloe Elliott to Addison Mass. And then the offense turned things on as well. UC scored 2 runs in the 2nd and then started to pour it on. 4 runs in the 4th, 3 runs in the 5th. Davis and Elkins came back with 2 runs in the 6th, and then Charleston put up 3 more runs in the bottom of the 6th to keep it at a 6-run lead, close things out in the top of the 7th, and won 12-6. And I got to say, just watching the end of that game last night, for a moment it looked like that game might not have been able to get to finish with the dark clouds that were rolling in and the wind that was kicking up, but they were able to get through it. And now as the teams are about to get their lineups introduced, let's go ahead and take a look at these offensive lineups for both of these teams, again, with the opportunities that they can really light up a scoreboard. So let's see how this goes. We'll start off first with the visitor Charleston Golden Eagles, since they will be batting first. Leading things off in center field will be number 11, Allison Rubel, and batting second in right field, number 8, Kira Guler. Batting third, number 10, in left field, Reagan West. Batting fourth is second base, number 4, Lindsey Ferris. Batting fifth, designated player number 44, Taylor Hodson. Batting sixth is number 9 at first base, Kayla Moran. Batting 7th is the catcher number 22, Hannah Meyer. Batting 8th is number 26, third base, Brittany Ogg. And batting 9th is the shortstop, Ella Zucchero. And just look at those batting average numbers. There's only one in that group that is not batting over 300, but don't discount what Brittany Ogg can do at the plate. Now let's take a look at that Glenville State lineup. Since they are the home team, defensively, so out in the circle, we will have Kylie Burdick again starting things off with that ERA of a 1.78, 21-9 this year. Behind the plate, we'll have Hannah Howe. Over at first base, McKenna Negley, who has had an incredible year offensively, batting around 400. At second base, Addison Aginaga. At shortstop, Zaylee Seda. Over at third, Kylie Goodman. In left field, we've got Shelby McDaniels. In center field is Emma McLean. And in right field, Delaney Warnick. And this, again, we will take a look at their offensive lineup once we come back around. But both of these teams can light it up. So we'll have to see. Are we going to have fireworks? Or are we going to have that pitching and defensive duel? That there have been a few of these games in this tournament that have played out like that, where there might be a good number of hits delivered from both teams, but the pitchers and the defense, when it came down to crunch time, got the outs when they needed it, kept those runs from crossing the plate. It's another beautiful sunny day here in Salem, Virginia at the James I. Moyer Sports Complex. And we're about to step aside for a quick moment while they get ready for the national anthem. When we come back, we will have first pitch here for you. Stay tuned for more on the Mountain East Digital Network.
For 4 decades, the health plan has called West Virginia home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community. The health plan. Here for you.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Welcome back, everyone, out to James I. Moyer Sports Complex in Salem, Virginia. Day 3 of the 2025 Mountain East Conference Softball Championship Tournament. Scott Hall, glad to have you along here with us. If you've been tuning in all week, we've had some great action so far. We've had some walk-offs. We've had some high-scoring games that were close. We've had some low-scoring pitching and defensive duels. Let's see what we're going to get out of this one. And this one should be a good one. We've got the number 1 seed from the South and the number 2 seed from the South. Glenville in the number 1 spot coming into this week at 22-8 in conference play. Charleston, the number 2 seed, 21-9. So close, only separated by 1 game. When these two teams played each other during the regular season, they split the series. It started off at home for Charleston, and Glenville State took game 1 6-5, and then Charleston won the next game 7-1. Then on March 29th at Glenville State, Charleston won the first game 4-3. Then Glenville State won 5-4 in 8 innings. So some tight ball games. There was only one that was not separated by just 1 run on that scoreboard, and that was game 2 in their first doubleheader, Charleston winning 7-1. So Allison Rubel will lead things off for the Golden Eagles, stepping to the plate, a .340 batting average, 25 runs, 25 runs driven in as well. She has 53 hits this year, 10 doubles, 1 triple, and 1 bomb. First pitch from Burdick will miss outside for ball 1. Kylie Burdick, again, 21-9 this year with a 1.78 ERA. She's making her 33rd appearance of the season, 28th start as well. And out of her previous 27 starts, she has gone the distance 19 times. And she will start off down in the count 2-0. She also has 10 shutouts this year, as well as 181 innings pitched, 108 strikeouts. Burdick looks in. Rubel rips that up the middle for a base hit. Coming over from center is McLean, who will help keep that from getting back into the gap. So Rubel will pick up hit number 54 this season and try and get something started here early for the Golden Eagles. Out on the field defensively, I know we went through that in the pregame, but I'll go ahead and go back through that here again for you in just a moment, as stepping up next at the plate, laying down the quick bunt as well, is Kira Guler. She is out, but the sacrifice bunt does its job. So Guler immediately going after that first pitch, laying down the bunt and getting the sacrifice. Rubel in scoring position. Now standing at second. Up next is Reagan West. She'll go after the first pitch and fouls it into the backstop. Yesterday when UC was on this field, we had a whole lot of foul balls in that contest. So let's see what's going to happen here. West dig back in with the 0-1 count. Burdick goes low and away for ball 1. So Reagan West batting at .284 this year. 31 hits, 18 runs scored, 7 doubles and 1 triple. She has 19 RBI. Burdick will miss high on the rise ball. Good job from West to keep the bat back and not go after it. So again on the field defensively for Glenville State, Kylie Burdick in the circle, Hannah Howe behind the plate. First base, McKenna Negley. Second base, Addison Aginaga. Shortstop, Zaylee Seda. Third base, Kylie Goodman. Left field, Shelby McDaniels. Center field, Emma McLean. And right field, Delaney Warnick. West fouls another one off. 2-2 count.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday against Fairmont State, Reagan West 1 of 3 at the plate with a run scored. That was in the loss. Sent over towards right center field with a little bit of a curve to it. But Emma McLean is there to make the catch for the out. So line out to center field will get the second out of the inning. That also keeps Rubel in her place with this good solid drive, but McLean getting the read right off the bat. Just not enough of that tail on the ball to be able to get away from her. Up next to the plate, Lindsey Ferris, and she will take a first pitch strike. Lindsey Ferris coming into today batting .324 this season. 46 hits, 30 runs scored, 14 doubles, and 5 home runs, 31 runs driven in. That's good for second on the team. 1-1 count. Rubel still at second. Right-hander awaits the next one, and it misses low. Lindsey Ferris, a senior from Hurricane, West Virginia. Went to Hurricane High School and also a transfer from West Virginia State. Next pitch will miss outside. 3-1 count for Ferris. Yesterday in the win over Davis and Elkins, Ferris 1 of 3 at the plate with a run scored, drew a walk as well. She'll take a strike here, and that'll push the count to full. In the loss to Fairmont State, Ferris was 0 for 2. did have one sacrifice hit. Grounded towards third, pulled in by Goodman. She'll take a couple of steps and get it over to Negley at first for the final out of the inning. So Allison Rubel leads off with a single, but unfortunately gets stranded at second. We are scoreless, bottom of the first. Up next, right here on the Mountain East Digital Network.
For over 4 decades, the health plan has called West Virginia home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community, the health plan. Here for you.
Bottom of the first, scoreless so far. UC got its leadoff batter on base, but couldn't get her any further than second after sacrifice bunt, line out to center, and then a ground out to third. Let's go ahead and take a look at that defensive lineup for the University of Charleston as they now take the field for the first time today. In the circle is the 2025 Pitcher of the Year, Addison Mass. Behind the plate, Hannah Meyer. At first base, Kayla Moran. Second base, Lindsey Ferris. Shortstop is Ella Zucchero. Third base is Brittany Ogg. In left field, Reagan West. Center field, Allison Rubel. And right field, Kira Guler. Kylie Goodman. Almost said Goodman. Goodman will lead things off for Glenville State. She'll take the first pitch up high for ball one. Goodman swings and misses at the next one for a 1-1 count. Goodman, a junior from Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, Waynesburg Central High School. Leadoff batter coming into today, batting .342 this season. Has yet to miss a start, 51 hits, 42 runs scored. She'll send this one high up in the air into foul territory and right, trying to chase it down is Moran. Doesn't look like she doesn't quite get there, so Goodman will have another opportunity at the plate. Sun is shining, some high passing clouds again. We got through yesterday just fine. Looked like for a moment there that Davis and Elkins and Charleston might end up getting paused late in the game, but somehow that rain just absolutely avoided the complex here and we got through. Pulled to third base, Ogg picks it up, gets it over to Moran at first for out number one. 5-3 ground out. We'll retire Goodman. Now we'll bring up Shelby McDaniels. Good job by Ogg, cleanly scooping it up. A throw across the diamond. McDaniels swings and fouls it into the backstop. McDaniels, a junior from Buchanan, West Virginia, and Buchanan Upshur High School. McDaniels coming in batting .301 this season, 44 hits, 27 runs scored, 9 doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer, and 26 runs driven in. Swing and a miss here for strike two. So over on field one right now, we have the winner's side of the bracket. Popped up in the air, over to short. An easy catch there for Ella Zucchero. Just take a few steps, get underneath of it, grab the pop-up, 2 away. But the winner's side of the bracket, West Liberty and Fairmont State. Fairmont State, the number 1 seed from the north, and West Liberty, the number 2 seed from the north. Up next to the plate, Delaney Warnick. The last time in the MEC tournament that both the top 2 seeds from the south and the north made it to the final day, well, essentially the final day, the last 4 teams standing, was 2019. Swing and a miss here for a strike. That time in 2019, it was down to West Liberty was the number 1 seed in the north. West Virginia State, the number 1 seed from the south, as well as Concord, the number 2 seed from the south, and Shepherd, who was in the conference at the time, the number 2 seed from the north. West Liberty ended up defeating Concord for the championship. 2-2 count on Warnick. Nobody on, 2 away. Next pitch fouled up into the top of the netting. Beautiful facility here, James I. Moyer Sports Complex. Recently, a few years ago, went through a major renovation, over $20 million, which might sound like a lot for what most people would look at as just kind of a park complex. But this area hosts so many different tournaments, all different collegiate levels, high school levels. As state tournaments for Little League, you have slow pitch tournaments that will come here. That's why there's the fence out beyond the one that we have here. Where the fence that we have here, the corners are 200, 220 out in center, and then you have the 300 plus fence out there, and that's for the slow pitch tournaments. So Warnick still alive at the plate with a full count. Up high, ball 4. 2-out walk will send Warnick over to first. Delaney Warnick picking up her 13th walk of the season. Due up next will be the center fielder, Emma McLean. McLean batting just under 300 this year. Pops up the first one. Fouls that back behind home plate. So McLean, again, another player who has not missed a start this year. 52 of 52. Now 53 of 53 with this one today. 37 hits, 40 runs scored. Swing and a miss here for strike 2. 13 doubles. That is second on the team, behind McKenna Negley's team record 19. McLean also with 2 triples and 5 home runs. She'll take the 0-2 here off the plate for ball 1. Emma McLean Jr. from Hebron, Ohio. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Lakewood High School. Fouls another one into the backstop. The right-hander will step back in. Has a 2-out runner at first in Warnick. Mass. Golden Eagles defense trying to get out of this. Upstairs for ball 2. Mass looking in, fires away, misses high. McLean started to rotate. And we'll check down to first. And he will say that she did not come far enough. It looked like the bat barely came off her shoulders. But you know what? You never know. And that's why the catcher, they'll go ahead and ask. As head coach I heard one time used to say, give the umpire an opportunity to make a bad call. The next one goes outside for a walk. Back-to-back walks will put 2 runners on for Glenville State here in the bottom of the first inning. We remain scoreless. Warnick walked in 7 pitches, as did McLean. That will bring us to the shortstop, Zaylee Seda. Seda will take the first pitch for a strike. Our umpires for today, behind the plate, we have Stephen Dalton. Over at first base, Jim Hoby, and third base, Robert Gaylor. Next one will miss outside. 1-1 count. Seda hitting .385 this season. Good for second on the team. Behind McKenna Negley's .406. But Seda, 62 hits this year, 37 runs scored, 6 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers, 26 runs driven in. Lifts this one high in the air over by short. Zucchero was there and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Glenville State able to get a couple of runners on base from back-to-back walks, but can't find that timely hit. We're still scoreless. Top of the second coming up next right here on the Mountain East Digital Network.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Little update here for you over on Field 1 in the winner's side of the bracket, and the winner of that moving straight on into Championship Saturday. The loser will take on the winner of this game. That will be over on Field 1. That is tentatively scheduled for a 2:30 p.m. first pitch. And leading things off here for Charleston in the top half of the second is number 44, the designated player, Taylor Hodson. She takes the first pitch for ball one. Next one lined over into the gap. Diving for it is McLean. That's going to get by all the way to the fence. Hodson will round first and stop in at second with a stand-up double. Double into left center field. Good drive here from McLean. Keeps her hands through. For Hodson, McLean about the only chance she had to really try and make a play on that as her angle was going straight for the ball. She wanted to try and cut that one off, but couldn't quite get to it. So first base, Kayla Moran will step up next. She shows bunt, then pulls back as the pitch comes in up high. Good eyes. But the update from over at Field 1, Fairmont State leading 3-0 at this point. Forsha just with an RBI single. Forsha, who was responsible for four out of her team's 5 runs yesterday in the 5-1 win over Charleston. Having herself a great series. Next pitch, swing and a miss. One count. 1-2 count. Sorry about that, folks. Moran will let the next one go up high. Ball 2. Two count for Moran, coming in batting .344 this season. Swing and a miss. And she will casually walk back to the dugout on the strikeout. First strikeout of the day for either pitcher. And Burdick's 109th of the season. One away. Runner still at second in Hodson. Now we'll bring up Hannah Meyer, the catcher. First one will miss outside. Got a pitching change going on Field 1 for West Liberty, as Fairmont State has gotten out to the early big lead as they are just in the first inning right now. Fairmont State with 3 runs up on the board. Next pitch will miss low and away for ball 2. Hannah Meyer batting .331 this season. Senior from Ocala, Florida. Making her 40th start of the year. 41 hits, 30 runs scored, 8 doubles, 2 triples. Her 9 home runs leads the team, as well as her 38 runs driven in. Pop back into the netting. 2 balls, 1 strike. Periodically today, there's been a little bit more breeze than there was yesterday. Of course, not later in the day yesterday, but as we were going through the first 2 games, not much of a breeze. Right now, as I look out into left, that flag is not moving much. This one's driven out to deep center field. McLean is chasing it back right at the bottom of the fence, and Hodson had to wait. But she's going to round third and head on in for home. Throw home will not be in time as Hodson touches the plate. RBI double for Hannah Meyer, her 9th double of the season and 39th RBI. Hodson had to wait because it looked like McLean could have potentially had a shot at making the catch, but then it rolled off the fence pretty good. That allowed Hodson the opportunity to not just make it to third, but then keep rounding and head for home and get that first run up on the scoreboard for Charleston. So 2 doubles in the inning gives the Golden Eagles the 1-0 lead. Brittany Ogg at the plate, third base for UC. Take the first pitch for a strike. So 1-1 count for Ogg. Brittany Ogg batting .262 this season, 27 hits, 12 runs scored, 8 doubles, 1 home run, 18 runs driven in. Good spot on the outside, taken for a strike. Burdick trying to see if she can respond here after allowing 2 doubles in the inning. She did get a strikeout in between, but that last one, a good drive by Meyer. Popped up in the air behind home plate. Howe finds it for Glenville State and makes the catch. So pop out into foul territory, grabbed by the catcher. We'll get the second out of the inning. And that will bring us to Ella Zucchero. Zucchero will take the first pitch, outer half of the plate for strike 1. 2 away in the inning, but runner in scoring position in Meyer, and also UC with the early 1-0 lead. Zucchero, a freshman from Acton, Ontario, and Acton High School. Burdick will just miss on the outside for ball 1. Burdick already up to 30 pitches in the contest. Burdick misses high. Ball 2. Zucchero comes into today batting .301 this season, and that coming from the 9 spot is always something that a coach can love. Driven right up the middle into center field. McLean comes up firing, and it will get cut off in the circle by Negley. Scoring from second is Meyer. Charleston leads 2-0. Good drive right past the glove of Burdick into center field. And, of course, Meyer getting a good jump off the bat, because when it's 2 outs, you always think 2 bases. And, hey, you can't get doubled up if it gets caught on a liner, because it's the final out of the inning. So Zucchero with the RBI single into center. 2-0 lead for the Golden Eagles, and still a runner on base. And we go back to the top of the lineup in Allison Rubel. Rubel, her first time up, drove a single into center field. Ended up getting stranded at second. Popped up in the infield. Calling for it is Burdick, but right behind her to back her up is her third baseman, Goodman. However, she doesn't need to back up. Burdick able to make the catch, and that will get the final out of the inning. UC leads 2-0. Glenville State coming up for the bottom of the second. Stay tuned for more of the Mountain East Conference Softball Tournament Championship.
Elkins College will shape your future through personalized curriculum and career-focused internships. D&E is known for the quality of nurses, business leaders, and teachers we prepare for the field. We're leading the way with pre-professional programs developing the next generation of physical therapists, veterinarians, doctors, and lawyers. Our location makes programs in resource management and outdoor recreation a natural fit, and our roots run deep in theater and film and visual arts. With distinction and excellence, we provide an affordable education designed just for you.
At Glenville State University, you can discover friends to last a lifetime, professors who broaden your perspective, and the skills and education for future success in a small town environment. At Glenville State University, you can become a pioneer.
Charleston leads 2-0 after getting a couple of doubles and then an RBI single in the top half of the second inning. But Glenville State Pioneers coming back up here in the bottom of the second, trying to see if they can respond. First pitch to the designated player, Monica Rodello, is taken for a strike. Rodello this season batting .328, 45 hits, 10 runs scored, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 6 home runs, 35 runs driven in, slugging .526 this year. 1-1 count for the senior from Pomona, California. Mass misses high and outside. So 2-1 count. Mass delivers and fouled into the backstop. 30th pitch of the game coming up next for Mass. Looks in. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss for a strikeout. First strikeout of the game for Addison Mass. She hit double digits yesterday. She has 180 now for the year and the first out of the inning. First pitch launched it, but it's going to go foul by Negley, third base side. It's right off the top of the corner of the stands. McKenna Negley is senior from Butler, Pennsylvania, and Butler Senior High School. By the time her career comes to a close for the Pioneers, you're going to find her name all over the record book. I'll try and take a look at some of that here in just a moment as the next pitch comes inside. So Negley, her 300 career batting average is in the top 10. 543 at-bats coming into this tournament is top 5. Next pitch fouled back. And again, these numbers are coming into the tournament this week. Her 162 career hits, top 5. 35 doubles, tied for first all time. And these are career numbers. Next pitch will miss low. 2-2 count. Negley with 75 RBI, top 10 at Glenville State. Reaches for that one outside, but is able to foul it off. And then as far as single season numbers, Negley batting average of 400 at this point is first all time. Behind her, you also have Zaylee Seda, who was third all time this season coming in. This one's lifted over towards right field. Coming up and making the catch is Guler. 2 away. We'll get to more of Negley's numbers her next time up at the plate. Behind her is the catcher Hannah Howe. 2 up, 2 down to start off the bottom of the second inning. Mass delivers, comes inside and gets a strike. Hannah Howe with 22 hits this year, 13 runs scored. She has 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 14 runs driven in. And she'll foul this one back for an 0-2 count. Howe yesterday in the win over Point Park was 1 of 3 at the plate with a run scored and an RBI. She had the single to center field in the 6th inning that allowed Warnick to score. However, she is going to swing and miss here. 3 straight pitches will send Howe back to the dugout and end the inning. 2 strikeouts for Mass, 181 this season, and we move on to the top of the third. UC leads 2-0.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
to help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Oh, pitching change. We have a pitching change for Glenville State. Now out there in the circle is number 32, Andy Joe Howard. So head coach Sarah Schoon opting to go ahead and take Burdick out, as it looked like, especially with that last inning there in the top of the second, that UC was definitely catching up to her. They had 3 hits in the inning. You had the double to left center from Hodson, then the double to center by Meyer, and then the RBI single from Zucchero bringing in 2 runs. So now they're going to go to the lefty, Howard. And her first pitch to Guler misses outside. 4-1. Guler, her last time up, had the sacrifice bunt that moved Rubel to second. Swing and a miss here for a strike. Andy Joe Howard this season, ERA of 2.83, a 7-2 record overall. She's making her 17th appearance. She does have 9 starts, 5 complete games. Lined up the middle, and that one's going to drop right back to the edge of the dirt. Throw across from deep second by Aginaga. Can't quite get it to first base in time, so Guler is able to leg out what is essentially an infield single. Even though that was deep behind second base. Great job by Aginaga just to get back there and cut it off with an opportunity. She didn't miss Guler by much at first, but still a single. That will bring Reagan West up to the plate. Her last time up, she lined out to McLean in center. First pitch to her from the lefty. Howard's taken outside for a strike. Howard, a freshman from Wheelersburg, Ohio, Wheelersburg High School. West shows bunt, but then pulls back as that one comes in well up high. About eye level at least for ball 1. 1-1 count. Howard has at least 1 strikeout in 11 games this year. She does have 1 outing with 5 Ks. Next pitch. Swing and just a little foul tip right back to the glove for strike 2. Andy Joe Howard, that 5 strikeout game was a complete game win over Wayne State back on March 11th. She allowed 4 hits and 2 runs, just 1 earned. West lets the next one go by up high, ball 2. Howard did get a win in 3 straight starts earlier this year. 1 was against this team, Charleston. That was on March 29th. Then against Concord on April 9th. And 1 more against Point Park on April 19th. Next pitch fouled into the backstop. Count remains at 2-2. Howard looks in, delivers, swing and a miss. She'll get a strikeout here. So first strikeout of the game for Howard, give her now 25 this season. And now 12 games this season that she has recorded at least a K. So 1 out in the inning, and that will bring us to Lindsey Ferris. Ferris 0 for 1 to start the day. Grounded out to third in her first plate appearance, and she'll foul one into the backstop. Ferris looking to see if she can find hit number 47 this season. Keep the inning going. Howard drops in a strike on the outside. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Ferris goes down on 3 straight pitches. A foul ball, a taken strike, and then big old cut. Back-to-back Ks for Howard. Coming into the game, not a bad start after allowing the infield single and then back-to-back strikeouts. First pitch to Hodson taken inside, 4-1. Hodson, her last time up, led off the top of the second with the double into left center. then came around to score on the double to center. Now she's going to rip one over to right, but right there is Warnick. And she will make the catch for the final out of the inning. So UC able to get another runner on board, but Howard shuts it down with 3 straight batters retired. Bottom of the third up next. UC leads 2-0. Stay tuned for more on the Mountain East Digital Network.
Tomorrow's innovators, teachers, caregivers, researchers, leaders, and creators all have one thing in common. They started out just like you. At West Liberty University, you are the focus. This is a place where you will gain the skills, knowledge, and confidence to change your life and the world around you. It all starts here, with you. Visit westliberty.edu to start your journey. It's all here at West Liberty University.
Fairmont State University is a great place. A cozy campus surrounded by nature and outdoor adventure. An authentic school filled with friendly people who are down to earth. People who roll up their sleeves, help each other out, get stuff done, and have fun doing it. That's what makes Fairmont State such a great place. It's a great place to make friends for life and a great place to soar. Learn more at fairmontstate.edu.
Addison Aginaga will lead off for Glenville State in the bottom of the third inning. It's a fun name to say. Addison Aginaga will step into the right-handed batter's box. The senior from Apple Valley, California, Sultana High School. She'll take the first pitch inside for ball 1. Mass still in the circle, misses inside for ball 2. Just to reset the Charleston defense here for you. Addison Mass is the pitcher. Hannah Meyer behind the plate. First base, Kayla Moran. Second base, Lindsay Ferris. Shortstop, Ella Zucchero. Third base, Brittany Ogg. Left field, Reagan West. Center field, Allison Rubel. And right field, Kira Guler. That one fouled well back out of play. So Mass looking in, delivers. Aginaga showed bunt, pulled back, takes it outside and high. Ball 3. So Mass, the junior pitcher from Ringwood, Illinois, Johnsburg High School. Popped up foul. Moran trying to follow it, but it's over the net and out of play. So Addison Mass, the 2025 MEC Pitcher of the Year, still with one more year of eligibility. Both of these teams, with the result of this game, whoever ends up losing that one fouled down the third base side, but whoever the loser of this contest will be, will have some great seniors that will unfortunately see their careers come to a close. But Mass will be able to be back for another year. Next pitch to Aginaga, pop back foul again. This time the net will reject it and send it back to the field. Aginaga has fouled off the last 4 out of the last 5 pitches. Pitch number 8 of the at-bat coming up next. Still a full count. Mass delivers, sent up high, this one in the field of play. And Meyer able to find it as that one went way up into the sun. And she'll make the catch for out number 1. Good job by Meyer just to follow that one well up into the sky. You know she's staring into the sun at some point. Able to keep her eye on the ball and make the catch. Next up at the plate is Kylie Goodman. So we'll go back around at the top of the lineup. She'll foul off the first pitch. Goodman, her first time up, grounded out to third. Next pitch, fouled straight back. So Goodman getting aggressive here, going after Mass. Kylie Goodman with 51 hits this year. can tell she really wants number 52. She's fouled off 3 now. 50th pitch for Mass coming up next. Or excuse me, that was number 50. Again, big thank you to Tyler Beck, my official scorer, sitting to my right, helping keep me up to date on these pitch totals, as sometimes we've had games where we've rolled through, they haven't thrown too many. She will take the first pitch for ball 1. Sides of the plate. Comes back outside, lifted up high in the infield. Zucchero calling everyone off and will make the catch for the final out of the inning. So Glenville State, they're able to get another runner into scoring position. Can't find that timely hit. UC leads 2-0. End of the third, top of the fourth. Up next right here on the Mountain East Digital Network.
For 4 decades, the health plan is called West Virginia Home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community. The health plan. Here for you.
Moran, Meyer, and Ogg will lead off the top of the 4th inning for the University of Charleston, who right now has a 2-0 lead over Glenville State. Andy Joe Howard in the circle for the Pioneers. First pitch from the lefty will miss inside and low for ball 1. I have to say that too with Howard, the freshman, is once she came in relief, she's not afraid to mix up sides of the plate either. Outside high, ball 2. This one driven deep by Moran, but it will not stay fair. That one back into the corner. So Moran will come back in, 2-1 count. Leadoff batter, top of the 4th inning. And Howard will miss outside. Make it 3-1. So lefty versus lefty. And Moran will take the walk to first. So she'll get the better of the battle this time. Moran in her first plate appearance went down as a strikeout. That was the only one of the game for the starter, Burdick. But a leadoff runner on board for the Golden Eagles. And that will bring up Hannah Meyer. Meyer, her last time up, had the double to center. Popped up foul territory by first base. Trying to chase after it is Negley, but she won't be able to get there. Looking in, Howard comes well inside. Boy, that ball had a lot of spin to it, taken for ball 1. Meyer not even backing away from it, didn't even flinch. Meyer has 16 walks this year, but no hit by pitches. Stands just a little bit more in the middle of the box, there on the left-hand side. So I'll take one outside there for ball 2. Last time Howard pitched against Charleston, she went 8 innings there on March 29th to get the win. Big swing and a miss here from Howard, 2-2 count. Allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, only 3 were earned. She gave up 6 walks but had 3 strikeouts. Still got the victory. That'll miss high. Full count. Moran still over at first. Next pitch popped up in the infield. Moran will have to go back to first as Negley comes over and makes the catch. 1 away. That'll bring us next to third base, Brittany Ogg. Ogg, her last time up, popped out into foul territory. Caught by Howe, the catcher for Glenville State. Swing and a miss here for a strike. Brittany Ogg, the senior from Bremen, Ohio, Fairfield Union High School. Ogg shows bunt, pulls back as it's taken well outside. Ooh, good diving catch there from Aginaga. Coming over to cover from second is Howell, fired down to first, trying to see if maybe they can get a quick pickoff on Moran. But that throw started to get just to the right side of the bag there, and Aginaga had to dive and make sure that didn't go into right field. That keeps Moran at first. Bunt laid down. Goodman comes up firing for first. We'll get it to Aginaga for the out. So 5-4 on the sacrifice bunt put out. The sac bunt does its job. Moves Moran to second in scoring position. However, there are 2 away in the inning. And Ella Zucchero is up next. Another lefty. Popped up foul. Just over top of the net and over top of the stands, third base side. Zucchero, who last time up had the RBI single into center field that scored Meyer. Next pitch from Howard popped up in the infield. Over at short, Seda makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Charleston gets a runner in scoring position, but the threat is ended. Bottom of the 4th up next. Can Glenville State get its bats going? Stay tuned and find out. It's coming up next right here on the Mountain East Digital Network.
There's a place where innovation becomes transformation, where you'll find that education is not just about learning, but about being excited to learn. A place to feel at home. Pursue dreams and prepare for careers. Build lifelong friendships. And a place where you'll be encouraged and mentored along your journey. Discover your future. Get ready to soar. The University of Charleston.
Trying to find where you fit in the world can be challenging. But then there's a moment where it all comes together. And that moment happens at Point Park University. Career-focused programs converge with a vibrant downtown campus to prepare you for work and life. From experienced professors and internships to culture and job opportunities, you'll get the best of both worlds. Point Park University, where it all comes together.
Bottom of the 4th inning, the Pioneers trying to get something going on offense as they trail 2-0. Leading things off at the plate center field, Emma McLean will foul off the first one. McLean in her first plate appearance drew a walk, got stranded at first. Mass delivers, comes inside for a strike. 0-2 count, put McLean down a little bit. Mass delivers, goes outside this time, and will miss off the plate on the 0-2 count for ball 1. West Liberty starting to try and make a comeback over on field 1. They just scored 2 runs. They trail 3-2. Sydney Johnson with a 2-run double, scoring Emily Allen and Izzy McKee. 2-2 count for McLean. Also, another schedule update. Need to make sure I say this before I happen to forget. Championship game tomorrow will be played at 11 a.m. Looks to be a threat of some rain later in the day tomorrow. So just to try and make sure, because remember, folks, this is a true double elimination tournament. So if the team from the loser side of the bracket wins the first game tomorrow, they will have to win a second game to win the championship. And so with the fact that there could be 2 games tomorrow, you need to make sure that you want to get those games in. So instead of originally scheduled for noon tomorrow, first pitch for the championship will be 11 a.m. tomorrow on Field 1. McLean pops up in the air just to the left of third base in foul territory, and Ogg makes the catch for out number 1. Zaylee Seda, shortstop, will step up next. Her last time up popped out to short. So she is 0 for 1 to start the day, and she'll take a strike here from Mass to begin this at bat. Zaylee Seda, a sophomore from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and Westmont Hilltop High School. Soft floater over to second. Ferris is there for the catch. 2 away. So 2 up, 2 down. We move on to Monica Rodello, the designated player. Rodello, her first plate appearance went down as a strikeout. Mass has 2 in the contest. That was K number 1. And we'll start with strike number 1 in the at-bat. Monica Rodello trying to make a little bit of a comeback for herself personally. She missed the 2023 season, so played last year, getting things going again this year. Rodello is a senior from Pomona, California. Have to wonder if maybe she might use that extra year of eligibility or not. Fouled into the backstop. She had a career best 7 RBI last season in a 3-for-3 performance with a home run against WVU Tech, February 24th. 1-2 pitch, fouled off over top of the netting on the first base side. I wonder if there's a system on top of the roofs there between the bleachers for the fields, if there's a way that any softballs that land up there have a way to kind of just roll down into something that they can pick them up and get them later, because we've seen quite a few land up on top of the roof and stay there. 2-2 count. Rodello goes after the high pitch, sent high up in the air, foul territory, trying to chase it down by the dugout. As she get it? And she does. Brittany Ogg. Great tracking job to follow that one all the way into. Let's take a look at this. Look at Ogg, just eyes up the entire time. Can't quite see it there as it gets behind the net, but you can see the umpire stick up that fist and say, yes, she got it. That's the out. Now we'll end the inning. On to the 5th. Charleston still leads 2-0.
For 4 decades, the health plan is called West Virginia home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community. The health plan. Here for you.
Welcome back, everyone. Top of the 5th inning, elimination time here in the 2025 Mountain East Conference Softball Championship Tournament. Glenville State and University of Charleston. Glenville State, the number 1 seed from the South. They currently trail Charleston, the number 2 seed from the South, 2-0. Up the plate is Allison Rubel. She goes after the second pitch, sends that one over into right field, but Bawarnick is there for the catch. So we'll line out into right for out number 1. Will bring us to Kira Guler. Guler, first time up, had the successful sacrifice bunt. Second trip up to the plate, an infield single. She'll watch that one go by outside for ball one. Guler with that last single that she had to lead off the top of the third inning. It was back deep behind second base that Ageniga was able to get back to, but did not have a chance to try and get Guler out at first. Next pitch fouled up into the netting. 1-1 count. Head coach Taylor Welch over at third, giving a couple more words to her batters. Guler steps back in with one away and nobody on. UC trying to add some insurance runs here late in the game. Hard grounder to first. Negley bats it down and quickly scoops it back up and gets to first. You don't normally think of first base as the hot corner, but that one came smoking over for Negley. Great play there by the senior. 2 away. Now we'll bring us to Reagan West. First pitch from Howard, missed low and away for ball one. Good job by Negley just to keep the concentration, to knock that down, find the ball, pick it up, and get back to first base. Fouled into the net. 1-1 count. Reagan West lined out to center field in her first plate appearance. Second time up, went down as the first strikeout for Howard, who has 2. Ferris was the next victim, and Ferris is in the on-deck circle waiting to see if she will get an opportunity to come up in this inning. West fouls off another one, first base side. Again, on some of those shots that you can see there, nice high netting that goes around from the end of each dugout. Help protect the fans in the stands, those right behind home plate, as well as trying to keep as many balls as you can in the field instead of going over to one of the other fields. Lifted up high over towards shallow right field. Calling off Ageniga is Warnick, and Warnick will make the catch for the final out of the inning. So 3 up, 3 down for Charleston in the top half of the 5th. Glenville State, can they get the bats going? Stay tuned and find out. Bottom of the 5th, up next right here on the Mountain East Digital Network.
Tomorrow's innovators, teachers, caregivers, researchers, leaders, and creators all have one thing in common. They started out just like you. At West Liberty University, you are the focus. This is a place where you will gain the skills, knowledge, and confidence to change your life and the world around you. It all starts here, with you. Visit westliberty.edu to start your journey. It's all here at West Liberty University.
Fairmont State University is a great place. A cozy campus surrounded by nature and outdoor adventure. An authentic school filled with friendly people who are down to earth. People who roll up their sleeves, help each other out, get stuff done, and have fun doing it. That's what makes Fairmont State such a great place. It's a great place to make friends for life and a great place to soar. Learn more at fairmontstate.edu.
7, 8, 9 spots in the lineup for Glenville State. Negley, Howe, and Ageniga. Negley steps up first, drills this over towards left, getting near the line, but it's just going to land foul. West was chasing after it, not quite able to get there. So instead it'll be just strike one on Negley. Something else that McKenna Negley is first all-time in, not just with as far as single season numbers, not just with her 19 doubles, but also 5 sacrifice flies. That is tops all-time in Glenville State history. Down in the count, 0-2. Right-hander will step back in. Mass delivers. This one's launched deep out to left field, going back into the corner and making the catch, just stepping over the foul line. Reagan West chasing it down. Good tracking job, keeping her eye on the ball, as that ball just continued to tail and drift, but West is there. Fly out to 7 in foul territory for out number 1. That will bring us to Howe. Take the first pitch for a ball. Mass looks in, pop back foul. That one, depending on where it possibly hits, maybe hits the net. Looks like it's going back towards field one. Hopefully not landing and disturbing West Liberty and Fairmont State. Mass, good spot, but just misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pop back foul. Another one from Howell, trying to stay alive at the plate. 2-2 count. Sounds like we have had a double play to end an inning. Fairmont State was up at the plate. Compton hitting into the double play. Lifted up high, back, and foul again. So Fairmont State still with a 1-run lead over on field 1, 3-2. The winner of that game goes straight into championship Saturday. Again, the championship game will begin at 11 a.m. Next pitch taken for strike 3. Howell watches that one go outside. Mass picks up K number 3 this afternoon. Give her 182 for the season. 2 away in the inning, and that will get us to Addison Ageniga. The winner of this contest moves on to field 1 at 2:30 p.m., tentatively scheduled, of course, and they will take on the loser of the game that is going on right now on field 1. Ageniga takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Mass delivers, misses high and outside. Trees out beyond the outfield, flowing just a little bit in the breeze. When the breeze does come, it is blowing out towards left. Pop back foul with a little thud on top of the press box. Yesterday we had a couple of foul balls that rolled off the roof and almost hit our home plate camera, but knock on wood, so far so good today. And the home plate umpire says, hey, need some more glow balls. Somebody help me out here. A little smile on his face as he's talking with the catcher, Hannah Meyer. So the loser of this contest will see their season come to a close, and with the records, you never know if either Glenville State or Charleston could have the potential shot at an at-large bid into the NCAA tournament. Of course, the teams would love it so much more if they could get to Championship Saturday, win the title, and then, of course, not have to worry about will your name be called. It's just, you know you're going. Ageniga steps back in as we finally get some new glow balls sent back, and Mass will miss off the plate for ball 3. 3-1 count. Always can be a little nerve-wracking when you're hoping for that at-large bid. Next one down in the dirt for ball 4. So a 2-out walk for Ageniga. Picking up her 15th base on balls for the season, and that'll bring us back to the top of the lineup and Kylie Goodman. Goodman drew a walk her last time up, reached second on a sacrifice bunt, and then was stranded there. Her first plate appearance, she grounded out to third. First pitch, foul back, going over towards field 4. But nobody's over there playing. Fields 2 and 4 this week have been empty other than being used as practice fields, but with no other team needing to warm up for another game today, no one's over there. Inside by the hands, missing off the plate. 1-1 count. Mass coming up near 90 pitches in this ball game. Bottom of the 5th, Goodman fouls it back into the net. Kylie Goodman, during the last 13 games of her freshman year, she bat .462, 18 of 39 at the plate. And she watches that one go by for a strike. Back to, or 2 strikeouts looking in this inning. 4 Ks now for Mass, 183 this season. We move on to the 6th. Charleston still leads 2-0.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Lindsey Ferris will lead off for UC in the top of the 6th inning. The Golden Eagles with the 2-0 lead. First pitch fouled up over top, bounces off the roof over the grandstands. Charleston kind of came out swinging. They put up 2 runs in the top half of the 2nd. It's been scoreless ever since for both teams. Big cut there from Ferris for strike 2. Andy Joe Howard, who did not start the ball game but came in the 3rd for the starter Kylie Burdick, does have a couple of Ks in the contest. Lefty looks in, and another one's fouled off. Last time Howard had more than 1 strikeout in a game was against Concord, April 9th. 7 innings there. That was another victory for her. She allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, had 3 Ks in the ball game. Launched foul, first baseline. Ricocheting off of that nice high net. Another beautiful day for the majority of this tournament. The weather has been cooperating with us. It looked like last night could have been a struggle for the end of Davis and Elkins and Charleston, but we got through it. Mother Nature let us finish. Next pitch misses off the plate for a ball. Finally, first ball in the count. So 1-2, 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up next. Howard punches out Ferris. That one just catching the edge on the outside. So Howard picks up her 3rd K of the day. We're now 27 for the season, 1 away in the inning. That will bring us around to Taylor Hodson, the designated player. Hodson trying to call for time, finally has it granted. Players always have to make sure that the umpire grants time. Howard delivers, misses inside for ball 1. I've seen some times where a batter, they'll put up the hand, think they have time, and just go ahead and step out. Pitcher throws, and it ends up being a free strike almost. We'll get a strike here. Pitch number 50 for Howard coming up next. And remember, she came in the 3rd in relief. Drilled out towards right, drifting foul. Hodson so far today, her first time up, had the double into left center field. That was off the starter Burdick. She came around to score 2 batters later on the double to center field from Meyer. Second time up, lined out to right field. Count will even out now at 2-2. Howard misses high, ball 3. One thing I noticed with Howard that may be kind of interesting is that when she goes into her windup, she keeps that ball out of her glove for a good bit of time, really kind of showing off her grip. She's just a freshman, but that might be something that she might want to adjust as time goes on. Hodson will earn the walk here. One out walk, and it looks like we will have a pinch runner coming in for Hodson. As head coach Taylor Welch goes to meet with Stephen Dalton. Kayla Moran due up next. There is one away, and the teams here this week have not been afraid that even with one out to go ahead with the sacrifice bunt. Coming in for Charleston is number 3, Lindsay Rivas, a senior from Lorain, Ohio, Amherst Steel High School. And so a pinch runner now over at first. Number 3, Lindsay Rivas, with Kayla Moran at the plate. Moran is more than capable of laying down a bunt. Lindsay Rivas making just her 6th appearance of the season. She does have 2 at-bats, has scored 1 run. No stolen base attempts. So after the brief timeout, Moran will now step into the left-handed batter's box. Howard looks in, catches one on the outer half of the plate for a strike. Moran did not show bunt that time. Moran takes a look at the wristband after getting the signal from Coach Welch. The third base coach's box now shows bunt. Comes inside. Did she pull the bat back? It looks like she did. Waiting to make sure on the call there from the home plate umpire, because sometimes with slappers it can be a little tough to judge on whether or not they left the bat out long enough to consider it being a strike. Moran drills that through the 3-4 hole into right field. So instead of the sacrifice bunt, Moran able to move the runner over with a hit.
I can't hear you.
Single into right field. Good drill there from Kayla Moran. That will bring up Hannah Meyer. Meyer, who already has an RBI double today. Started to swing, but holds back. Goes outside for a strike. Meyer, the first time, though, that she faced Howard, ended up popping out over to first base, caught by Goodman. Or, excuse me, caught by Negley. Goodman's over at third. Next pitch will miss for ball 1, 1-1 count. Rivas at second, Moran at first. UC trying to add some insurance runs here in the 6th. Howard will miss high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wind blowing out a little bit towards left. Howard misses low. 3-1 count. Howard looking in. Comes inside, just catches that one for a strike. Full count. Payoff pitch coming up next. We have 1 away in the inning. Meyer turns on it and fouls it towards her own dugout. Number 200 in the corners, 220 in center. We have seen some home runs this weekend, including a walk-off home run in the 8th inning from West Liberty. Sarah Simon drilling that one out. Next pitch fouled down the right field side. Glenville State also had a walk-off walk. So we've had a walk-off walk and a walk-off bomb. And that was on day 1 of the tournament. It was a great start. Meyer steps back in, pulls another one foul. Howard has been staying inside on Meyer on these last few pitches. So still a full count. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up next. Howard delivers, Meyer pulls another one foul. Starting to get redundant here. 4 straight foul balls, all getting pulled to the first base side. Howard, will she go outside now? Keeps it in. Hey, tell me if you've heard this before. Foul ball, right side. 5 straight foul balls for Meyer, battling at the plate. Pitch number 11 of this plate appearance coming up next. Still 2 runners on and 1 away. Inside, hey, guess what? Another foul ball to the first base side. How much longer is Howard going to keep trying to come inside on Meyer before maybe she tries to mix it up? See if she can catch her off guard. Meyer has fouled off 6 straight. Outside, misses off the plate. Bases are loaded after the walk. What an at bat from Hannah Meyer. Oh my goodness. After fouling off 6 straight pitches, Meyer finally draws a walk. And we're going to have a pinch hitter coming in the spot of Brittany Ogg. This will be number 4, Bianca Polestina. Polestina Jr. from Cooper City, Florida, and also a transfer from St. Leo University. Coach Welch giving her player a few words of encouragement before stepping back over to the third base coach's box. So Bianca Polestina stepping up next. We'll take a look at her numbers in just a moment as the lefty steps into the batter's box with bases loaded. Popped up in the infield. Howard calling for it just outside the circle and makes the catch. Oh, what an unfortunate way to go down for Polestina as she was making her 29th appearance of the season. 78th at bat. She does have 21 hits this year, 13 runs scored, 9 doubles out of those 21 hits. But unfortunately heading back to the dugout on just 1 pitch. Up next is Zucchero. She'll take a strike on the inner half. Can Ella Zucchero come through with a timely hit and add some runs? Grounder to first. Negley picks it up and touches the base. Bases get loaded, but back-to-back outs gets Glenville State out of the jam. Bottom of the 6th, can they take that defensive momentum and put it to the bats? Stay tuned and find out. It's coming up next right here on the Mountain East Digital Network.
Elkins College will shape your future through personalized curriculum and career-focused internships. The uni is known for the quality of nurses, business leaders, and teachers we prepare for the field. We're leading the way with pre-professional programs developing the next generation of physical therapists, veterinarians, doctors, and lawyers. Our location makes programs in resource management and outdoor recreation a natural fit, and our roots run deep in theater and film and visual arts. With distinction and excellence, we provide an affordable education designed just for you.
At Glenville State University, you can discover friends to last a lifetime, professors who broaden your perspective, and the skills and education for future success in a small town environment. At Glenville State University, you can become a pioneer.
Brittany Ogg re-enters over at third for Charleston. I'll reset the Charleston defense for you here in just a moment, but leading off for Glenville State, due up here in the bottom of the 6th inning, still trailing 2-0, McDaniels, Warnick, and McLean, the 2, 3, 4 spots. Addison Mass still in the circle. Big swing and a miss as McDaniels chases one high for a strike. So Addison Mass in the circle, Hannah Meyer behind the plate. First base, Kayla Moran. Second base, Lindsey Ferris. Shortstop, Ella Zucchero. Third base, Brittany Ogg. Left field, Reagan West. Center field, Allison Rubel. And right field, Kira Guler. Fouled into the backstop. 0-2 count. McDaniels, her last time up, put down a sacrifice bunt that moved Goodman to first. Or, excuse me, moved Goodman to second. Can't exactly move her to first on a sacrifice bunt if she's already on. That won't make sense. McDaniels popped out to short her first time up. Next pitch down in the dirt on the 0-2, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Quick look at field 1. Your score is still 3-2 with Fairmont State on top. And the top of the 5th inning right now. Next pitch will miss off the plate. 2-2 count. Mass delivers, and that ball is delivered foul down the left field side. Remember, the winner of this ball game will move over to Field 1 to take on the loser of the game that is going on right now at Field 1 between West Liberty and Fairmont State. McDaniels fouls another one to the third base side. The loser of this contest will see their season potentially come to a close, as again, both of these squads could have the opportunity for an at-large bid into the NCAA tournament. Mass, pitch number 100, pop back foul. McDaniels has fouled off 3 straight, but only 2 of them went to the same side. Not like Meyer, who went 6 straight over towards her own dugout. We've had a little bit of an issue with getting some spare softballs into the possession of the home plate umpire. McDaniels grounds it to third, just foul. Hopping on the line and then just to the left of it on that last bounce. So 4 straight foul balls now for McDaniels. Bottom of the 6th inning, Glenville State trying to get its offense going. Popped up high in the air, back part of the infield by Short, and Zucchero makes the catch. Glenville State has been able to get some runners on board, but just could not find that hit to bring them in. That'll bring up Delaney Warnick. Delivered outside for a strike. Mass, low and away, swing and a miss, gets Warnick chasing after it. 0-2 count. Let's see where Mass might deliver this. Occasionally she's come pretty close on an 0-2 pitch, especially if she thinks she might be able to get someone to chase, but this one's well off, going towards the left-handed batter's box for ball 1. Warnick, the sophomore from Perryopolis, Pennsylvania. The 1-2 will miss outside. Ball 2, that'll even out the count. Just a little bit of a slight breeze right now blowing out towards left. The tree's still fluttering just a little bit as well. Lifted up towards just off into the grass. I thought it was going to have a little bit more distance towards left center field, but Zucchero with about 1 or 2 steps into the green makes the catch for out number 2. So back-to-back pop-ups to the left side. We'll retire McDaniels and Warnick. That'll bring us to Emma McLean. Pop back foul. That one lands with a big thud on top of the press box. Great facility here on the, I guess if you essentially want to call it the second level here of the press box where we are. Got plenty of room here for broadcasters and scorers to be able to sit. Taking strike here from McLean. Then upstairs on the third level is where PA sits. So that really allows for good space to be able to kind of move out, have room that you need to. The 0-2 will miss outside for ball 1. Mass delivers, misses high. 5th pitch of the at-bat coming up next. 2-2 count. Mass is into triple digits today. Looks in, delivers, lifted high and foul. Left field side. That one hitting off of the pole that holds up the net for field 2 on what is their first base side. I'm sure that had a nice ping to it when it drilled over there. Again, don't forget the championship game tomorrow. It was originally scheduled for noon. Will now start an hour earlier at 11 a.m. Next pitch will miss outside, full count. And of course, you can find out any other changes that might be happening with the schedule on the Mountain East Conference website, as well as following the Mountain East Conference on social media. Pop back foul, and can it get out of play? And it does. Just hitting off the net, or off of an umbrella, I mean. Sitting over top of a table, a couple of UC fans sitting over there. Full count still. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up next. Drilled back foul. McLean has fouled off 4 pitches excuse me, in this at-bat, 3 out of the last 4. Still a full count. Mass looks in, payoff pitch on the way, taken inside for a strike. Mass gets the strikeout. Her 5th of the afternoon, give her 184 for the season, and puts Glenville State down in order. Top of the 7th up next. Can UC add some more runs, or will Glenville State keep it at that 2-run deficit? Stay tuned and find out. It's coming up next right here in the Mountain East Digital Network.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Top of the 7th inning. UC leads 2-0. And we are back at the top of the lineup. And Rubel, Guler, and West. Center field, right field, left field. Rubel lays down a quick bunt, ducks underneath of it. Howard turns and throws to first, not in time. Infield single on the bunt. What a job from Rubel, though, to duck underneath of the ball. Let's look at this again. Look at this. Whoop. Got to make sure that doesn't hit you, because she was well outside of the batter's box. Had she hit that ball, she would have been out. But instead, bunt single for Rubel. Guler at the plate. Drills after the first one. Sends that over towards right center field. On the run, and just goes through the breadbasket. That gets dropped by McLean. Throws to second, not in time. So 2 runners on for UC. McLean had a long run after that, but that was in her possession, and she could not hold on. Guler with a good solid swing, but just underneath of it a little bit. McLean just missed her glove and off her stomach. E8. 2 runners on. Drops down the bunt and will get tagged out in the line. Well, might have just missed the tag there on West, but instead the throw will go to first base, where Aginiga is there to cover. None of the umpires called the out on the tag, so that will be a 3-4 put out on the sacrifice bunt. And now both runners are in scoring position. Rubel at third, Guler at second. Lifted up high in the air into center field. McLean will come underneath and make the catch as Ferris is retired. Is it deep enough for the sac fly? And it is. Rubel runs home, doesn't even need to slide. Just touches the plate as she comes darting through. McLean, the throw, just not in time. Rubel scores run number 3. So Ferris retired, but gets an RBI on the sacrifice fly. Up next is Hodson. And she will be the first batter of this inning to face more than one pitch. Make it a 2-0 count. So Hodson, the lefty, steps back in, takes that one inside, backs a foot away. 3-0 count. So to recap the inning, Rubel, first pitch, going after it, lays down a bunt, gets a hit out of it. Howard gets a strike here, so 3-1 count. Then Guler went after the first pitch, ends up being an E8 in shallow right center field. As McLean should have had it, but unfortunately could not quite hang on. Hodson will now take the walk to first. Then Ferris with the sacrifice fly. That brought in Rubel. So 2 away in the inning. And still 2 runners on. As Hodson now at first. And Guler at second. That will get us to Kayla Moran. First pitch to Moran, pulled towards first, just barely stays fair. Negley puts the glove down and tags the bag for the final out of the inning. UC now leads 3-0, bottom of the 7th. Coming up next, can the Pioneers get the bats going at clutch time? Stay tuned and find out. It's coming up next right here on the Mountain East Digital Network.
Tomorrow's innovators, teachers, caregivers, researchers, leaders, and creators all have one thing in common. They started out just like you. At West Liberty University, you are the focus. This is a place where you will gain the skills, knowledge, and confidence to change your life and the world around you. It all starts here, with you. Visit westliberty.edu to start your journey. It's all here at West Liberty University.
Fairmont State University is a great place. A cozy campus surrounded by nature and outdoor adventure. An authentic school filled with friendly people who are down to earth. People who roll up their sleeves, help each other out, get stuff done, and have fun doing it. That's what makes Fairmont State such a great place. It's a great place to make friends for life and a great place to soar. Learn more at fairmontstate.edu.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Glenville State trailing 3-0 to UC. Can the number 1 seed from the South get the bats going at crunch time? Leading things off is Seda. Actually, we've got a pinch hitter coming in. That is Gabrielle Smith coming in the spot of Seda. And she will duck underneath the first pitch for ball 1 and take one low and away. Why not Sarah Schoon going for some changes here, as her lineup has not been able to really figure out Addison Mass at this point, so why not bring in somebody new and see if maybe they can make the adjustment. The 2-1 pitch will miss outside for a 3-1 count. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Full count now for Gabrielle Smith, a senior from Summersville, West Virginia, went to Nicholas County. Fouled back into the backstop. Gabrielle Smith this year making her 11th appearance of the season. Batting .286, she has 2 hits, 1 double. Has driven in 3 runs. Mass looks in, misses outside, ball 4. Another walk for Glenville State, so leadoff runner on board. Due up next is Rodello. Coach Schoon will be coming over. Let's see if she's going to be sending in a different pinch runner. It will be number 10, Ollie Hypes, freshman from Beckley, West Virginia. So 2 changes in the spot in the lineup where Seda was due up at the plate. So Gabrielle Smith earned the walk. Now Hypes will run at first for Rodello. First pitch lifted up high in the infield. Coming in over from first is Moran, and she will make the catch for out number 1. 1 away, still running, 1 runner on for Glenville State. Next up at the plate, lifting the first pitch high and well out of play, is Negley. So she'll start off at an 0-1 count. Swing and a miss at the next one. So 0-2 count. Popped up in the air, but that's going to get back out of play and lands on top of the press box. That one goes to the right of the home plate camera. Not quite as close as the two that we had yesterday. In fact, one, I think, hit one of the legs of the tripod. The 0-2 will miss up high for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Negley with one away and a runner at first in Hypes. Next pitch, back foul. UC with the 3-0 lead, bottom of the 7th inning. Can they advance and keep their season alive? Mass delivers, lifted up over towards right field, coming up on the run and dropping the ball. She had it in her glove as Guler rolls into foul territory, but Hypes is only able to make it to second. That ball was in her glove and just could not hang on to it. E9. And that will put 2 runners on. So now the game-tying run is coming to the plate in Hannah Howe. Coach Welch coming out to talk to her entire defense. She'll pull in the outfielders as well. Welch in her first season leading the UC program, after the previous head coach went down to Florida to coach at her alma mater. Yes, she decided she wanted some of that, I don't know if you want to call it permanent sunshine, but you've got to love some of the weather that can come through, especially in the mid-Atlantic region. In early spring, it feels like it can be pretty much all 4 seasons in one day. You got to love it. Keeps you on your toes. Plus, you can have one day 75 degrees, the next day it's 25 and snowing. Then 2 days later, you can be back in the 70s and all the snow is gone. So now after the timeout, Howe comes up, popped up in the infield. We've got 3 players calling for it, but Moran is loud enough, and she will make the catch. By the circle on the catch there from Moran. 2 away. Next batter is Addison Aginaga. Glenville State down to their last opportunity with 2 runners on board. First pitch from Mass. Misses high and outside for ball 1. Mass looks in, delivers, lifted up high. Foul territory. Ogg trying to chase it. Gets underneath and makes the catch for the final out. Addison Mass has just thrown a no-hitter. It is her first career 7-inning no-hitter. She had a 5-inning no-hitter earlier this year against West Virginia State, as that game ended with a final score of 13-0. But let's take a look at that last out to complete the no-hitter. Ogg underneath, right by the third base dugout. Ball in her glove, game over. Addison Mass, look at that. 0 runs, 0 hits. Charleston with the 3-0 win. We'll go ahead and step aside for a quick break, and we'll come back and take a look at this one. Charleston advances and stays alive.
For 4 decades, the health plan is called West Virginia Home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community. The health plan. Here for you.
popped out. Welcome back, everyone, out to James I. Moyer Sports Complex in Salem, Virginia. Charleston moves on to keep their tournament alive. They will be moving over to Field 1 to take on the winner of West Liberty and Fairmont State. Quick look at that score. Fairmont State still with the 3-2 lead. But look at that 0 in the hit column from Glenville State. They could get some base runners on. They got some walks in this game, but they could not find the hit that they needed to, one, not only obviously erase the no-hitter that Addison Mass was throwing, but to also try and bring in those base runners that were getting on. Mass did allow 5 walks in this contest, but she came through with the clutch pitches when she needed it, and the defense making the plays as well, whether it was on the pop fly, a fly out, or the grounder. Addison Mass, essentially her second career no-hitter, but her first that went 7 innings. Again, she had a no-hitter earlier this year on March 26th against West Virginia State, but that game ended in the 5th because UC went off for 13 runs and had the run rule victory 13-0. So that was a 5-inning no-hitter. This one, a 7-inning no-hitter, and it keeps the season rolling along for Charleston. Again, they will be moving over to Field 1. That game tentatively scheduled for a 2:30 p.m. start. I can already tell you that one's not going to be happening, so it will be pushed back a little bit. But hey, you know what? That happens when you have softball action a lot of times. But Charleston moving on with the 3-0 win over Glenville State. They got 2 runs in the second, and then everything just zeros after that for both teams. They could get somebody on, could not find the clutch hit to bring them around, and then finally Charleston adding that one more insurance run in the 7th when Ferris drove in Rubel with the sacrifice fly out to center field, and they get the 3-0 win. Several people like to thank for the work all week here up in the press box here on Field 3. To my right, Taylor, almost said Taylor. My apologies for that. Tyler Beck, keep me up to date, especially with those pitch counts, because we had a couple of games where those pitchers just soaring up into the triple digits. My producer to my left, Nick Eskins, trying to keep everything in line, as I know we had some technical difficulties here and there. You got to love it when technology decides, nah, I just don't want to work anymore. But we got to the point where we were able to do replays, so that was enjoyable to be able to go back and watch some of that. I'd like to thank Butch Mounts and the entire Mountain East Digital Network, as well as Allie DeWitt and Chuck McGill for giving me this opportunity to be back on the headset calling softball action here for you on the Mountain East Digital Network. But a great game between these two teams. Unfortunately, the number 1 seed from the South, Glenville State, is eliminated in the Mountain East Conference Tournament here in 2025. But you never know. They could have an opportunity at an at-large bid. The season may feel like it's over, but they could still have an opportunity. And unfortunately, if it is over for them, they had some incredible seniors on this roster. Addison Aginiga, Monica Rodello, McKenna Negley, Madison Timms, a pitcher who we did not see come out this weekend, and Gabrielle Smith, who we did see come in a pinch hit situation, who earned a walk. But a couple of those players, you're going to see their names in that Glenville State record book, and here's to the hopes that maybe they will get another opportunity. It's always hard when you come down to the end of the season and it's postseason play and they lose, they're eliminated. You have the elation from the one side, you have the tears and the hugs on the other side. It's always rough when a season comes to an end, and especially when some players think their collegiate career and potentially playing career has come to an end as well. But Charleston will be moving on, awaiting the winner of West Liberty and Fairmont State. Again, that game will be on Field 1. So with that, I'd like to say once again your final score. Charleston gets the victory 3-0 over Glenville State on the heels of Addison Mass throwing a no-hitter over the Glenville State Pioneers. For Tyler Beck, Nick Eskins, Butch Mounts, and the entire Mountain East Digital Network, as well as Allie DeWitt and Chuck McGill and the Mountain East Conference, I'm Scott Hall. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. We'll see you back on Field 1.